the good child misnomer. It simply means that the child has learned that it is safer to suppress than to express. Because if you're still carrying unresolved emotions from the way you were raised, whether it is hurt, it is anger, or unmet needs, those emotions don't stay in the past. Because a child is not here to complete your story. They're not an extension of you. Because most of us were not taught how to feel. We were taught how to stop feeling. Because a child who feels shameful doesn't just think, I made a mistake. They begin to feel there is something wrong with me. Parenting is not just about raising a child. It is about Let's talk about ancestral clearing today, where we're going to break the good child misnomer. I want you to pause for a moment and really think about this honestly. The version of a good child that exists in your mind, where did that come from? Because if you look closely, you'll realize it's not something you consciously chose, it's something you inherited. You inherited in the way you were spoken to, in the way emotions were handled in your home, in the way approval was given, and more importantly, in the way it was withdrawn, not accepted. And over time, without even noticing it, that definition becomes your internal standard. So now, when your child behaves in a way that does not match that standard, it doesn't just feel like a bad behavior, it feels like something is wrong with them. And that's where the shift needs to happen, because most of the time, what we call a problem child is actually a child who is not fitting into an inherited script, into an atmosphere, an environment which has been already created. Hello, I'm Dr. Monica Singh, and my work is at the intersection of my medical background, medical practice, behavioral science, and ancestral patterning. And what I have seen again and again is this: parents are not struggling with their children, they're struggling with what they were taught as a child should be. Because we were raised to believe that obedience is the goal, that a child who listens, who adjusts, who doesn't question is a well raised child. But obedience does not mean emotional health. Sometimes it simply means that the child has learned that it is safer to suppress than to express. And when suppression becomes the pattern, what you see on the outside may look calm, but what is happening inside is disconnection. And if you go deeper, you'll notice that a lot of your expectations are not even yours. They are inherited. They came from silent rules. Rules that were never explained but were always enforced. Like, don't talk too much. Don't cry loudly. Don't challenge the authority. Don't talk to me like this. Behave yourself. Don't express your anger. And now, without questioning them, those same rules are being passed forward. Not because they are right, but simply because they are familiar, they're comfortable, they're known to you. And this is when it becomes even more subtle, because somewhere along the way, many of us formed a link between our child's behavior and our own self-worth. So when the child behaves well, we feel like we are doing something right. And when they don't, it doesn't just feel like a situation. It feels personal. It feels like I've wrong on my parenting way. And you suddenly start questioning yourself a lot, and your self-image as a parent goes down the spiral. It feels like a failure. And from that space, parenting stops being a response to the child and becomes a reaction to our own internal fears. And that fear often has roots that go much further back into our own childhood. Because if you're still carrying unresolved emotions from the way you were raised, whether it is hurt, it is anger, or unmet needs, those emotions don't stay in the past. They show up in the present through your reactions. And that's why ancestral clearing is not about blaming your parents. It's about releasing that what you're still carrying inside of you so that it doesn't continue through you, because a child is not here to complete your story. They're not an extension of you. Your children come with their own temperament, their own way of feeling, their own way of being in this world. And the more we try to reshape that into something familiar, the more resistance we are creating between them and us. And one of the biggest places this shows up is around emotions, expressing emotions, dealing with the emotions, and feeling the emotions. Because most of us were not taught how to feel, we were taught how to stop feeling. So when a child expresses something intense like crying, anger, frustration, our instinct is to reduce it. Keep quiet, keep shut, don't feel angry, don't be anxious, control yourself, control your anger, and move past it quickly, only to put the anger beneath the blanket for it to erupt one day massively. But emotions don't disappear when they're shut down. They keep on getting stored, layer after layer after layer. And over time, that storage becomes a pattern. The same is true with shame. Many of us were raised in environments where shame was used as a tool to correct, to control, to discipline, especially in Hindi. तुम्हें शर्म नहीं आती है? So the word sharam is actually shame. And while it may have worked in that moment, what it actually did was create a deeper layer of self-rejection. Because a child who feels shameful doesn't just think, I made a mistake. They begin to feel there is something wrong with me. And that belief is carried forward. That is why it becomes important to understand the difference between control and boundaries. Because control comes from discomfort. It tries to stop the behavior quickly so that we can feel okay once again. But boundaries come from stability. They create safety without removing the child's sense of self, their self-worth. And all of this eventually brings you back to one place, which is you. Because your child will naturally activate the parts of you that were never fully met. The moments that feel overwhelming are not random. They're pointing to something that needs attention. And that is where reparenting begins. Not with your child, but with yourself. Meeting your own unmet needs so that you are not longer asking your child consciously or unconsciously to carry them forward. Because at the end of the day, parenting is not just about raising a child. It is about shaping what gets passed forward. And you have the opportunity to change that, to create a space where a child does not have to choose between being accepted and being authentic, where they lose their authenticity and their truth just to be accepted. Or if they're authentic, they're in their true nature, they are rejected and they have to go through the rejection cycle. And this is the real work. If something in this discussion made you pause even slightly, then you already know that this is not about learning another technique. It is about looking inwards. And that is exactly what the ancestral clearing system is designed for. To help you identify what you've been carrying and gently release it, resolve it, mature into your authentic self so that your parenting is no longer shaped by it. The link to the reversal program, which is actually a 4-hour workshop, is given in the description. If you're interested, if you want, I want you to go through it. And when you do that once, we are going to meet very soon. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.